Hey there, and welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. It's your girl Rashida, y'all. I'm excited about this one. This is some of the best banana bread that I've baked in my kitchen, and I've baked a lot of banana bread and said it was good, and it was. But this recipe right here is something special about it. So let's get into this one. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, and remember to like the video. All right, y'all, let's get started. As you see, I'm using two bowls, one larger bowl, one smaller bowl. Small bowl, I want to mix my dry ingredients first. Very simple. I am mixing 1 3/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a pinch of salt, maybe about a half teaspoon of salt in the bowl for the dry ingredients. Once everything is in this bowl, I just want to give it a good mix, a good whisk. Right there is the baking soda. And that's it for the dry ingredients. 1 3/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt, and just want to give that a good mix with my whisk. Get out any of the lumps and make sure everything is well incorporated. Just in case you're doing exact measurements for that salt, make it a 1/4 teaspoon, not a half teaspoon of salt. That would be too much. So I use a pinch just by sight, but if you're measuring, just about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in the bowl. And next up, we're going to get the larger bowl and get ready with some of the wet ingredients and the main ingredients. But first of all, right here I'm adding in my sugars. I have a half a cup of white sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, and you can add a little more, but I think just a whole cup of sugar in totality is good enough because the bananas are very ripe, so they're very sweet. If you like to add another 1/4 cup of sugar, you definitely could. And then I'm adding in my oil, and that's a half a cup of oil. Vegetable oil is fine. Canola oil, if you want to use coconut oil, definitely you can. So I'm adding in my oil, and then I'm going to mix these two together. All right, I'm done mixing those two together. You see, it just looks like a grainy sand, wet sand mixture. That's all you want for now. And then we're going to add in the eggs. This is a very quick and easy recipe. I'm adding in 2 room temperature eggs. Always remember when you're baking, you do want your ingredients to be room temperature. That's your milk, your butter, your eggs, whatever liquids you're using. But if the recipe calls for cold ingredients, specifically cold, just grab them out the refrigerator. Otherwise, generally when you're baking cakes, baking muffins, baking things, anything to that nature, you do want your ingredients to be room temperature, even cheesecakes. Okay, you see everything is mixed. I have my sugars. I'm mixing those up with the eggs just for a couple of seconds. And then we're going to be on to the next ingredient, and that is buttermilk. And I think this is what the special ingredient that I have not used in the past is the buttermilk. So I'm adding in a 1/3 cup of buttermilk, of course, at room temperature. I'm adding in my buttermilk, and then I'm going to mix that up. Now, this is a good place to remind you to like, subscribe, y'all. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please, I appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. That just helps me to continue to bring content to you, different recipes. You can even leave a comment and let me know a recipe you would like me to make, and I might just do that. But remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. All right, mixed up the buttermilk. So easy. We always have ripe bananas in our kitchen. Am I right or am I wrong? So you can whip up banana bread anytime, or you can make these into muffins. Okay, so once that's in, I'm going to go ahead and you see those bananas? You want your bananas looking like that. Pretty grungy looking. Oh, but that's the good stuff. The darker The darker they get, the sweeter they are. So I have one that looks halfway regular. It's not that sweet for the banana bread. So, but I'm gonna use it. I'm using three to four bananas, and I'm gonna smash these up and get them ready to go into the mixture. And I'm gonna just let you watch the process. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Once I put all my bananas in the bowl, then I'm just gonna take a fork because they're very soft at this point. When they're ripe, they're very soft. So they're easy to just smash up with a fork. Take a few moments, smash them up, and then they'll be ready to go back in the batter. So go ahead, take a look. Yummy. The main ingredient is ready, y'all. Look at that. Don't those mashed up bananas look pretty good? Nice and fluffy. Right here you have baby food. Remember those bananas in the jar? Okay, I digress. All right, so I'm grabbing my wet ingredients that I already mixed in the bowl. And guess what? We're going to add the bananas to the wet ingredients. Pour those in. To this, I'm going to add about a teaspoon and a half of vanilla, and about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So there goes the bananas. And then once everything's added in the bowl, guess what? Of course, we are mixing it up. Mixing it up, make sure everything's well incorporated, as smooth as we can get it. I don't like big chunks in banana bread. I like to mix it as smooth as I possibly can. And that's what I'll be doing. So I'll be giving this a quick mix with the hand mixer. Added in the bananas, some cinnamon, and some vanilla will be coming. I love vanilla. Like, I just put vanilla in almost all my baked goods, unless it calls for some different extracts. Vanilla is always that base. Something about that vanilla flavor just makes it taste great, yummy, delicious, and homemade. Okay, so I have my mixer, and I'm just going to mix this for a few moments until everything is as smooth as I can possibly get it. We are almost done. Oh, yes, let me tell you right now, that oven is preheated to 325. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at the beginning, but the oven is preheated to 325 degrees. You want to make sure you have one large loaf pan, and yeah, want to preheat the oven 325. Once this is mixed up very well, then I'm going to grab those dry ingredients. That's the flour, the baking soda, and the salt, and I'm just going to add them in. Okay, as I'm grabbing my dry ingredients, make sure you leave in the comments. Let me know how you make your banana bread. If you've made it in the past, what's your special ingredient? How does yours come out? What do you put in your recipe? Right here, just dropped in those dry ingredients, and I'm just going to mix this right now with a flat spatula. I'm gonna mix it, but it's not coming together as quickly as I would like, so I am going to just grab the hand mixer. You do not want to over mix, as that will always make your cakes just more dense. So I'm just going to mix this a little while, not too long. Grab that hand mixer just to make sure we smooth out some of those lumps, and then prepare it to go into the pan and into the oven. That looks good right there. That is what you want your banana bread batter to look like. Now I'm making this banana bread plain. just with the bananas. But guess what? You definitely can put in mix-ins. I like it banana nut bread with pecans. You could definitely can add those or walnuts if you like. Either one is fine to me. If you're adding them, I would say use about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of chopped nuts. You can also add chocolate chips. I've made them all kinds of ways. You can add both the nuts and the chocolate chips. You can just add chocolate chips because if you have people in your home that are allergic to nuts, such as myself, you definitely want to omit those. But put in about a half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips. It will take it to another level. But this one is plain. This is the basic banana bread and it's delicious just like this. I'm just saying if you want to add in extra ingredients, this will be the point to do it once everything is mixed in. And I'm just pouring my batter into my loaf pan and it's going to get ready to go in the oven, and this baked about an hour 10 minutes, between an hour 10 minutes and hour 15 minutes. I took mine out. It was ready at an hour 10 minutes. It just depends on your oven. So 325 for about an hour 10, hour 15 minutes. If you need a little bit more time, maybe an hour and 20. All right, looks good, ready to be popped into the oven. Oh, I'm delicious. I mean, I'm excited. And one thing about banana bread, it smells so good as it's baking. It's just smelling up the kitchen already. But once it starts to bake, it just illuminates the kitchen. All that goodness. All right, let's pop it in. And 1, 2, 3, let's take it out the oven. Fresh out the oven. Look at this beauty. Clap it up for this beautiful banana bread. Oh, she's beautiful. That's before we even cut in it. Fresh out the oven. That is how the banana bread turned out. I give rave reviews just on the look. Well, that completes our banana bread for today. This is some of the best banana bread that I've ever made. This is a great recipe. You see me just put my knife in. That knife comes out completely dry. You know it's done. If it comes out a little bit wet, it's not done. It needs to go back in the oven. Thanks for coming to the kitchen. Thanks for baking with me today. I showed you how to make some of the best banana bread that I've tasted. And it's so easy to make in your kitchen. Let me know if you make it. Till the next time, have a blessed day, a blessed week. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment, y'all. See you in the next video. Have a blessed day.